Welcome to the Mullet-Man Christmas Special. It's that time of the year, you guys, the season of giving, and a time where we cherish the ones we hold dearest. Time for nutcrackers, candy canes, hot cocoa, and $19 Fortnite cards. And in nearing the wonderful holiday of Christmas, what better time is there any to cover a really weird comic centering around Christmas time? Now, this particular Christmas tale that I'm about to tell you isn't really a happy and warm story that fills your heart with joy, but more so a tale of how the main man, Lobo himself, ruined Christmas for everyone in the most destructive way possible. With Lobo being hired by a holiday mascot to essentially kill Santa Claus because he's become too much of a big shot for all the other holidays. As we see later in the story, Lobo and Santa Claus himself battle to the death. This story is absolutely nuts. But first, before I get into this wonderful Christmas story, hear a word from our sponsor. Can't wait for Christmas break, I bet? Well, in the meantime, you don't have to wait for a particular date to have fun. Stop waiting for Christmas to roll around and make yourself a gift today. Have fun and relax, and enjoy Hero Wars right now. Hero Wars is an exciting game with over 100 million players where you can pick from a plethora of characters like vampires, aliens, cyborgs, and plenty more to choose from. Embark in campaign missions, battle in PvP arenas, and accomplish quests to earn better loot. I've been enjoying the game for a bit, and I'm on my way to unlocking Chaba next. He's a pretty awesome tank who literally devours his enemies. And this game, I'm telling you, is going to be incredibly fun and so addicting. You'll play it absolutely everywhere you go. And you'll find that assembling your own team of heroes is an art in itself. And right now, Christmas magic comes in Hero Wars. From December 24th begins the best time to start playing. But you can get a lot of presents and cool items right now. Collect new heroes, decorate the Christmas tree, progress through the advent calendar, and learn the mysterious story. Oh yeah, by the way, I have a question for you. Where can you get 30,000 coins, 600 emeralds, and 5 awesome heroes to start dominating in Hero Wars right away? The answer is in the description down below, and play Hero Wars now. And let's get back to watching the video. Once upon a time, there was this really cool dude. And that cool dude was Lobo, the deadliest bounty hunter in the universe. And there was also a dog of sorts that took to following him. As we see in the story, Lobo proceeds to walk into a bar, manhandling the bartender, demanding to know where the person he's meeting is, to which the bartender nervously says that he's waiting in the back. After this, the bartender asks for Lobo's usual, to which Lobo accepts as he shuffles through the aliens to the back of the bar, opening the door to the back to find the Easter Bunny absolutely shit-faced, offering Lobo a drink. But Lobo wants to know exactly what kind of job he's been asked to pull off. Lobo asks why a respectable bunny like him would call in Lobo to do some dirty work, with the Easter Bunny answering that he's a member of a respective group of people that deem a certain someone a threat to the holidays. And that certain someone is Santa Claus, as he's become too big for his britches, and now the holidays can't even compete anymore against Christmas. So in hearing this, Lobo ponders the job for a moment, and later says that he's never liked Christmas anyway. So he's in, so long as the Easter Bunny honors the agreement by paying Lobo for the job. Otherwise, he'll find him and he'll kill him too. As Lobo later leaves the bar while telling the bartender to shut up on the way out as he hops on his space bike to find and kill Santa Claus, cocking his guns with a smile and a ho ho ho, as Lobo would soon find himself at Santa Claus's stronghold. Far into the north, Lobo would find Santa Claus's stronghold, holding a brutal dictator repeatedly slammed by Amnesty International. He ran his empire with an iron fist. Malnutrition kept his army small in stature, but fighting fit and fierce as ferrets. Only highly sophisticated public relations techniques and a once-a-year charity splurge kept his image smooth with the public. Jolly Santa Claus, the world called him. But his slaves knew him better as Chris Crusher Kringle. We next see Lobo scouting from atop of a cliff face, sniping Santa's elves as he gets closer and closer to the gate, until Lobo would eventually reach the electrified gate, keeping Lobo on the outside, until Lobo would place a bomb on the gate, making his entrance. And inside the toy factory, elves hard at work making toy after toy mistake the explosion for break time. But the elves would soon learn that it wasn't break time, but that the naughtiest person alive has entered the building, so the elves would need to bear arms. Meanwhile, Lobo searches every corner of the toy factory looking for Santa Claus, only for Lobo to be caught in the elves' trap with all their guns trained on him ready to fire. The elves would call out to Lobo that if he surrenders, maybe they will spare him, But Lobo denies any form of surrender, saying he doesn't know the meaning of the word, giving the elves the go-ahead to open fire. However, all the guns the elves possessed were in fact toy guns with fake bullets, as Santa never thought anyone would ever challenge him, with Lobo saying to all the elves that they're all just so cute. As Lobo pulls out his very real guns, opening fire, screaming, "Eat hot lead, you unnatural dwarf geek suckers," gunning down elf after elf. And if you thought it ended there, Lobo's dog even kills some elves by ripping them apart and eating them. Anyways, after Lobo essentially killed every elf in the North Pole, all that would stand in his way was the big man himself, Santa Claus. Following Lobo through the factory on his search for Santa, he finds a back room labeled authorized only and immediately kicks it down, with Lobo yelling insult after insult on Santa's name and his establishment until he finally makes his way to Santa's office, where Lobo would find Santa smoking a cigar in his big chair alongside his big roommate, Kong the gorilla. But before Lobo pulls the trigger on his gun aimed at Santa's head, Santa starts to call Lobo a coward and that this whole debacle hardly seems fair. So Santa starts to shuffle his furniture to the side of the room to perform a one-on-one in deadly combat using Santa's favorite machetes, as the two trade their final insults before beginning the deadly battle, slashing and gashing, with blood quickly painting the walls of Santa's office as the two slash each other, while Lobo punches Santa's eye out with a massive blow, causing Santa to get so winded that Lobo would follow it up by bashing Santa's head in against the wall, leading Santa to tremble in fear, pleading for mercy. But Lobo always finishes a job he's been hired to complete, and he'd hate to upset the Easter Bunny, as Lobo slices Santa's head off, and comes out of the death battle the victor with a bloodied machete and a season's greetings. Now, after Lobo would finish his job by killing Santa Claus, he realized that he could reap the rewards of owning the North Pole, and use Santa's big, huge, state-of-the-art toy factory to do many things, as Lobo would even stumble upon the naughty and nice list and try to think of a good way to use it too. So days later, Lobo would start production on deadly warhead missiles with the help of Kong, till the entire warehouse would be full of them. And with the production all finished up, the last step of his plan would be to secure transport, as Lobo would walk to Santa's stables to ask Rudolph and the other reindeer to ride on his sleigh, and when some, like Rudolph, said no, Lobo would blow him away. Later, Lobo would finally get everything in order, presents all set, warheads primed, and reindeer ready to fly. Lobo had a lot of work ahead of him. Firing off his gun, Lobo's sleigh would fly off into the night sky, and Lobo would start launching the warheads, going by each and every single person on the naughty list's house, dropping warhead missile after warhead missile, to teach the naughty a lesson they'll remember for the rest of their life, and the nice a reason to stay nice. As Lobo flies off, wreaking havoc, wishing to all a Merry Christmas and a ho-ho fraggin' ho. The end. I hope you all liked the story, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And thank you Hero Wars for sponsoring this video. And as always, I'll catch you all on the flip side, and Merry Christmas to you all.